The next 3 months are going to pass us by, whether we enjoy them or not. You've landed on this podcast episode where we're going to talk all about how to consciously create the next 3 months to be the best 3 months of the year. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Gwen, and on the show, we talk about building an awesome life. I bring you interviews, ideas, stories, and share what's working for me to hopefully inspire you to consciously build your awesome life. So I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, truly. If I reflect over my entire life, there has never been so many mornings when I wake up excited to be alive, hopeful, interested to see what the day will bring. There's no more of that complete dread of, oh, gotta do this, oh, gotta do that. I've really landed in a place where things are going well, and I so appreciate every day that I have. And if you are not feeling that right now, I'd love to share with you a little bit about how I got to this place. Now, you may know that I also have a 3-month-old baby. You could say it's the oxytocin high of having a baby, but I know a lot of moms do not feel good, do not feel energized. So I want to share with you what the heck is going on, and how I could possibly encourage you to consciously get into a place that I'm in right now where you're enjoying being alive. Because I've said on past podcast episodes, I truly believe the entire purpose of life is to enjoy it. So if you're not having a good time here, what are we doing? So I have how many? I think 6 different practices, 6 different tips on how to make the next 3 months the best 3 months. So tip number 1, create some easy, fun, feel good daily practices. What can you do to start building a strong foundation that will set you up for a fantastic day? This will be different for everyone. I'll share with you a couple things that I have for this month for me. I have micro workouts with the baby. If you follow me on Instagram at Gwen Aussem, you'll see I post me and the baby working out pretty much daily, just like short 10-minute workouts to kind of get the energy moving. I do daily meditations in a group meditation with Sherry Salada's online community, the support system. It's so cool. She shows up every day at 9 a.m. and Eastern Standard Time, and we meditate together, a group of us. It's absolutely amazing. Or I meditate by myself if the baby is crying and meditation is not possible. I intend to do scroll-free mornings and scroll-free nights. I find my scrolling mindlessly is pretty bad. Probably that it's worse when it is the morning or it is the night. It's so funny to me still, the idea of being tired and just deciding to scroll, which kind of like keeps you wide awake, but also you're trying to get to, it kind of puts me to sleep too. There's got to be some science there. Huberman Labs, what's going on? Another thing is I intend to go alcohol free as much as possible. That's been on my list for this month, alcohol free, and I abandoned it a couple times, just and drank a bit. Oh God, I just feel awful, I just feel awful. But every time I drink, it's such a reminder of this isn't what you really want to do. I also have on there journal. I have on there protein smoothie / iron pill, and I use a simple habit tracker that I found on the App Store, one that I like. Honestly, just go there and click habit tracker and find one that you like. And it's so enjoyable. I do get that dopamine hit to check it off every day and see how many practices I actually get done. And it's so helpful too in course correcting, because if I find I'm having like a rough couple days, I probably can look at my habits and say, wow, I didn't really do many of them, which is why I feel like this. So that's the first one, feel good daily practices. And also every month I review them and kind of take some out that are boring or I don't need to track them anymore and update them with new fun things. The next one is manage your mood. You may have heard this through the teacher Abraham Hicks. You may have just seen this idea, manage your mood, online. Someone might have told you it. Manage your mood. Our mood is essentially like the weather. it can be thundering, it can be pouring rain, it can also be sunshine and rainbows, but we really have control over it. And we allow a lot of the external world, what we see, really dictate how our mood is going to be. Whereas we actually do have the power to internally cultivate the mood that we want. Just for example, this morning, I fell off of my daily practice of scroll-free morning, and I went on the Daily Mail. I'm a gal who wants to know what's going on in like pop culture, and I find that to be fun. But going on Daily Mail, it keeps getting worse and worse. And I go on there, and it's just like death and destruction. And I can just feel the mood absolutely tanking. I'm like, girl, why did you go on here? What is happening? So I went on there. I'm like, okay, I need to reset because the mood is in despair. It's in hopelessness. It's in self-doubt. It's in the world is going to end. So I had to get up, like shake it off, get myself to a place where I could instead open up a book that was more inspirational, uplifting, and really get my mood back into a place where I believe that the purpose of life is to enjoy life and not just to suffer through this whole experience. So manage your mood. The next one is to program your life, to choose what you are bringing into your life. I love this idea. Again, Sherry has been a real mentor to me, and she talks about programming your life, literally like, like in the olden days when there was TV guides, and you can see what's going on every hour. Lately, I haven't been using the calendar super intensely to program it, but I'm really being more intentional with who I choose to follow, who I choose to subscribe to, who I scroll through, putting different events on the calendar. There's so many free live events that you can go in and just check in on things. Like there's this great company called Ocho Wealth that talks about how to do personal finance for business owners. And they had a free webinar, and I signed up for it just to get in there and learn a bit. And it's based in the US, so I couldn't even buy what they were selling, but it was just really cool to learn a bit more about personal finance. And I programmed my life with something I wanted to learn. Courses are such an amazing way to program your life, especially if you can get to be in the room sometimes with teachers or in co-working sessions. So really just decide, what the heck do you actually want to have on your daily calendar, especially if you have full control. We all have full control over our lives, but if you have a 9 to 5 kind of, or any kind of job that you have to be certain places to get paid, just start with any free time that you have that you can program, and start small, and eventually you'll get to where I am and you can program the whole damn thing. The next one is honor alignment. There has been so many days as a new mom where I have a plan and the baby is crying, or I'm just exhausted and we got to throw the plan out the window. You don't have to have a newborn baby for that. That happens to all of us. But it's just allowing that to happen naturally and just going with the flow. It's saying, oh, I plan to record a podcast yesterday, but I just couldn't get there. Let it go. Try again today. I feel in a much better place today. And Mr. Liam, the baby, is sleeping, and it's a much easier flow than forcing things to happen. Even events or even meetings and things like that, I'm going to be really, really keeping my eyes open when I gear back into work to see what feels right every single day. Even if you say yes to something a month ago, you might not be in the mood to do it that day. I don't know. I'm getting curious about literally planning everything all the time. So honor the alignment of how you're feeling. There are just days where you need to rest. There are days when you can go to town and get to that inbox zero. The next one is a creative outlet. As a new mom, I feel like a lot of new parents can completely lose themselves in the baby. Now, I am an older mom. I'm not 21, despite my youthful appearance. Everyone's like, girl, no. But I really appreciate having this podcast as a way. I find this to be fun. It's like a creative outlet to share what I'm learning and share tips and stories and connect with people. It's an absolute blast. What can be a creative outlet you can adopt? You can try it out in the next 3 months or so instead of, don't put any pressure on yourself. That's also the thing. Making this podcast, there's literally zero pressure. It's just, I enjoy making it, period. So how can you have a creative outlet? And you might not even want to do anything with the internet. You might want to paint rocks. You might want to paint a canvas. You might want to go try stand-up comedy. You might want to make a vision board. Whatever it is, you might want to make a board game. I don't know what you want to do, but let's get some creativity going just for you. Just for you. We're creative people. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you're a creative human and you deserve to have an outlet for that creativity. The next one is to focus on what you want. This is so powerful because there are the things that I want. I'm no longer so rigid with goal setting and like smart goal setting. I really just want things like energy, beauty. I love beautiful clothes, places, people, spaces, abundance, just having that my cup runneth over with good things coming in. Sure, a tropical vacation would be fantastic. Completely paying off a mortgage would be amazing. Having a second home somewhere beautiful would be fabulous. Focus on what you want. This is something that is an absolute work in progress for me, as I have for many years really had that scarcity mindset and working so hard and literally burning myself out all the time, trying to make money so I can live a certain way. And it's so stressful. It's so exhausting. And I'm really excited to figure out and to focus on what I want in the direction of money to create things versus what I don't want is not enough money to do the things I want to do. So this is a complete work in progress. And I'm so excited to one day I'll have this completely unlocked or figured out. The Rubik's Cube will be figured out and I'll just completely be focused on all the things that I want and it will just keep getting better. So focus on what you want versus looking at the things you don't want and stressing over those. And also the last thing is to make the next 3 months the best 3 months. I would just say I'm putting on there, pray for clarity. I'm going to connect with something higher on this one because I really want to live a life where I'm willing to just go with the flow, to go with what feels right in the moment and not get so rigid about how I think it's supposed to go. What I want is to spend time with the baby. What I want is to just have a feeling of freedom, ease, and joy every single day. That's it. But how I'm actually truly going to live that all the time, I don't really know. Is it going to be through growing a business? Is it going to be through working for someone else again? Is it going to be, I don't know. Is it going to be not working? Maybe I'll be a full-time stay-at-home mom. I don't know. I'm very curious and I'm very open to see what that will be, but I can't get through the confusion by just focusing on the confusion, going back to focus on what you want. And sometimes I just got to like say a little prayer, just help me, whoever's out there, God of clarity, please help me, give me an inspiration, an impulse, intuition on what I should do next. Sometimes you just got to give it up and let it go. And hopefully you get an answer that comes in. It always does. It might not be in that exact moment, but go for a walk, have a shower, do something to get out of those whirling thoughts in your mind, and the answer will come. So those are the different ways that I'm going to be working on making my next 3 months the best 3 months. Again, it's creating your feel-good daily practices, manage your mood, program your life, honor the alignment. Alignment, again, just being feeling good, have a creative outlet, focus on what you want, and then pray for clarity when it all is not being clear. And the last thing I will say is I am the happiest and most joyful I've ever been in my life. And there are still bad days when I wake up and feed the baby and immediately fall back asleep and feel so behind on the day. And the day just kind of escapes me and I start having some beer at night and it's just over. It just was like, God, what a horrible day. But here's the thing. When that happens, I'm now just giving it up, saying, you know what? Today is not my day. If I've been trying my practices, things aren't working, it's like, you know what? Let's just call it. Let's just ride this out, go to sleep as soon as possible and start again tomorrow. And it is amazing how sometimes you just got to let it go. I would love to know what you are doing to make the next 3 months the best 3 months. Let's share ideas of what is going great, what you want to let go of, what you want to call in these next 3 months. I would love for you to leave a comment on YouTube or DM me on Instagram and let me know, or sign up for my email list, which I'll be getting going again soon. The awesome email list that will be sharing some great stuff. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. If you liked it, it would be so awesome if you left a review and rated it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.